Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Delta Sniper 17, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about OBS tutorial for mainly beginners. Like if you are unfamiliar with OBS or you just need a little more help, this is a great video for you. Everything's going to be in the timestamp, so if there's a certain spot you want to skip to, by all means. If you don't mind hitting that subscribe button, that'd really help me out a lot. Also, I stream on Facebook Gaming. That's facebook.com/DeltaSniper17. And I really hope you enjoy the video. I'll see you in a second. Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Delta Sniper 17. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to be talking about OBS. We're going to be going over some of the basics for people who are new to OBS. I'm just going to be covering the basics. OBS stands for Open Broadcaster Software. It's a free program that you can download. You just go to Google, type in OBS Studio, it'll pop up, you download it, and it's used for recording and live streaming. So this version that I have here is 26.0.2, and this is the latest version that's out right now. I'm sure it will change in the near future, but it's pretty much going to stay the same for the most part. So I just want to go over the little tabs down here. This is the scenes tab, the sources tab, the audio mixer, and scene transitions, and the control section. This little icon right here is your live stream. This is where you're recording, and this is your CPU usage and your frames per second. Up here you have 7 different little options up here that you can pick from. File, edit, view, profile, scene collection, tools, and help. So first I want to dive into scenes. You can add a scene, you can remove a scene, and then you can change the order of the scene. So we'll go ahead and add a scene. You can add as many scenes as you want, and you can take away scenes of your choosing. You just click on the scene and then click the minus button and you'll remove it. Say I want scene 4 on the top, you can just click this arrow and it will move it to the top. Say I want it back on the bottom, you can move it to the bottom with the arrow. You can also right click on it and you can remove it, or you can add another scene. You can duplicate the scene, you can copy filters, add filters. So you can add effect filters and stuff like that. Oh yeah, sorry. You go to filters and then you go to the add button here. You can add chroma key, which is for like your green screen. So if you have a video capture device, you can add a chroma key right there, and that's how you do that. So think of the scenes as layers, almost like pages on a web page or a website. You can add sources, which is our next objective to go over, and sources go inside of each scene. So we'll rename this, we'll just call it webcam. So that would be our webcam scene, and then we'll rename this live stream just so that it's not confusing. So we can put a webcam here by clicking the plus button on the sources, and then you go to video capture device. Type in webcam. Okay, we'll type in webcam 1, and then this is our webcam. Hey, what's up? So you can move this around by clicking and holding. You can minimize or enlarge, and then say I don't want to do this because you can only do that. If you want to make it smaller or bigger from side to side, you just hold the Alt key and then drag, and you can make it bigger or smaller. See? Yeah. And you can do that from the top too. See? Pretty cool. And then you can add, a mic if you wanted. This is where you'd add the mic. You can add a game audio if you wanted, like your sound from your game or your movie or your music. And then color display, which is like a background. There you go. Hit OK. Select color, green. Okay, hit OK. See how this covered the webcam? You just move it down and there you go. My webcam is back up. So after that, yeah, you can add an image, a game capture. Game capture is more for like gaming. Display capture is more for like, okay, I'm doing like an OBS review, or I'm doing a review on some kind of website, or I'm trying to show you clips of a website. But you can use display capture for gaming. But you know, game capture is more designed for gaming. You can put image slideshows, media sources, like a GIF. You can put a GIF. That would be a media source. You can do a scene. So these are the different scenes that we have. You can put a scene within a scene, essentially. Window capture, text, so you can write something up there. So hit OK, and then you can put, hey, what's up? People. Okay, and then you can minimize this. Oh, this flipped. So you can go to transform, and then you can rotate, flip vertically. There you go. You just right click, and if that ever happens to you, you can go to transform, and you can fit the screen, stretch the screen, center vertically, center horizontally, reset. There's all kinds of things you can do. You can change the color. You can rescale the filter. You can go to properties. You can change the font from properties. Hit OK. I like that font better. Hit OK. Yeah, and then you can rescale. Like I said, if you hold Alt on the side, you can drag from the side if you want. Okay, so that's how you add sources within your scenes. This is the audio mixer. This is how you adjust your volume. I like my mic to be all the way up. Let me minimize. Let me get rid of that. Get rid of that. So the audio mixer is what controls your volume. You can click on that, go to properties. If you need to change your mic to another mic, you can go here to device and select whatever device you want. Hit OK. And then the scene transitions are here. So you can go from like a swipe. So we can add something here. Oh, we added a scene. We can add a source. That'll be fine. So we can do a swipe. So when I go from here to here, it swipes. And then when I go, like a fade, see, it fades. So that's what a scene transition does. It's like a changing between scenes. I don't really like the cut, it's too fast. The swipe's pretty cool. But anyway, that's what a scene transition is. Let me minimize this. So this is the control panel right here. This is how you start your stream, start recording. So when you start your stream, that's your OBS sending a signal out to your streaming service like Facebook Live, and that's how you start streaming. Start recording though, that's you recording the video onto your computer, like in a video file, like an MP4. The virtual camera, that's a new feature. I'm not too familiar on that one. So if you have questions about the virtual camera, I would go ahead and YouTube that or Google it. Studio mode, it pretty much allows you to put a scene here. And this is your actual live scene. So this is the scene that you're on, and this is a scene that you're ready to use. So whenever you're ready, you can hit that transition button and it will switch. So it's just kind of a cool feature that you can use. But mainly what we're going to be focused on is the settings. So we're going to go ahead and click on the settings button. And if you don't want to hit it there, you can also go here to File and hit Settings, and it brings up the same box. Under the general settings, we're not really going to mess with it too much. The only thing that really needs to make sure that you have set is that it's on English or whatever language you speak. Also, you would like the automatically check for updates on startup to be checked. Everything else should be checked the way it is, and you don't really need to mess with it. Next, we're going to go to the stream tab. So you want to pick your service. So if you stream on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, that's the service you'll pick. That's very important. I stream on Facebook. You want the server to be default. Make sure when you're streaming you don't ever show your stream key to anybody. If somebody gets your stream key, they can get into your stream, you know, and they can broadcast over your service. You know, they can be in your account and stream on your account. So don't ever show your stream key to anybody. In order to get your stream key, you can just click this button and it will take you to your stream key on their website, and that's how you can copy it from there, take it back to OBS and put it in here, and yeah, you'll be ready to rock and roll after that. It'll connect you from OBS to your service of choice, and you'll be able to stream. So you'll just hit apply. That's like you saving your settings. You can go, and the next tab is the output tab. So for this one, you would like it to be on advanced. So for the streaming tab, this is where it gets a little complicated. It's not too complicated, but I just want to go over this real quick. So you want to make sure that the video bitrate is set correctly, and two things are going to determine this. First, your hardware, and I can't speak on everybody's hardware. You need to have a pretty decent computer. I mean, you can have a mid-range computer and still be fine, but you want to have good hardware, something, you know, like a decent graphics card, a decent CPU, something that can handle the strain of streaming and playing a game, especially on a one PC setup. And your internet speed, that's the second thing I was getting into. You need to have a pretty reliable connection, and the way to find that out is to actually go to speedtest.net. You go there and you do like a little speed test. So you can go to speedtest.net and you can actually, well, the speed test, it happens in megabits per second, but the OBS only recognizes kilobits per second. So you can go to speedtest.net, go to the settings and change it to kilobits per second, and that will translate it into the number that you need. You need to find out if your internet speed is fast enough, your internet upload speed is fast enough to be able to stream the video bit rates to your service of choice. So like I said, you'll run that speed test, you'll convert it from megabits to kilobits per second. You'll come back here and you can look up the service of your choice, what their recommended settings are. Just go to Google, quick Google search, type in Facebook Live video bitrate recommendations or Twitch video bitrate recommendations, and it will tell you. I believe Facebook's for a 1080p 60 frames per second resolution, it's actually 4,000 kilobits per second. Once you get all that done, the encoder, I use the NVENC. That's the hardware encoder for like if you have an NVENC option. I'm pretty sure that's, you know, going off your GPU. That's the best option if you have it, and 264 should work, but the NVENC is the preferred option because it just puts less of a strain on your PC. The audio bitrate I keep the same. I keep it at 128. I haven't changed it. I haven't had any issues. So the recording, this is where you record your videos, like when you press the start recording button right here. This is where your videos will go. So you can set a path and it will save your videos in a certain spot. The stream quality, you can adjust that as needed. You can do same as stream, high quality, medium file size, indistinguishable quality, large file size. So again, you can increase the quality and increase the file size, or you can decrease the quality and decrease the file size. It's all up to you. I keep it same as stream, works for me. the enable replay buffer. So essentially that is like a clip within OBS. You can do like a 20-second clip if you want. So you can do like the past 20-second replay of whatever happened if you enable that. So next we're going to go into the audio tab. I keep the sample rate the same, 44.1 kilohertz. That's recognizable throughout most programs within Windows. So I just keep it like that. The channels, I keep it on stereo. The other options are for like surround sound. I don't know anybody that uses that for surround sound. So like I said, I just keep it on stereo. This is where you'll have to make some adjustments. You'll need to make sure that you have game audio, or like whatever is coming through your speakers on your PC, like your game or your movie or your music. That would be your game audio, your main audio. Then you would do like a chat audio for your desktop. So that's like your party, or that's the people that are talking to you through your party chat. So that's what the chat is. Your mic, which is the microphone, that's my microphone, that's what it's called. So those are the only 3 audios that I need. I couldn't imagine you needing any more audios, but if you do, there's other options down here. I'm not even going to pretend what this is. I don't know what it is. If you have questions, you're more than welcome to Google it, or you can comment in the comment section and I will get back to you with an answer. This is the advanced tab. I'm not really going to go into that because this is more for just the basics. If you click this, this will enable push to mute for your mic, for your hotkeys. We're about to get into that in a second, but essentially a hotkey is you can assign any key on your keyboard to do a certain function, like, mute your mic, or, mute your desktop, and you can do all that right there. You can enable it. Next, we're going to go into the video tab. The base canvas resolution is essentially your monitor's resolution. So whatever your monitor is able to put out. My monitor is only able to handle 1080p, so I have it set at 1080p. The output resolution is whatever your PC is streaming at or putting out the signal at. So again, my PC, it can handle 1080p at 60 frames. That's what I do. The downscale filter is like if there's a change in resolution between the scaled and the canvas. If there's a difference between resolution, the downscale filter will compensate for that. The sharpest one is Landcross. That's the one I use. It offers the best high quality stream that I can get, so that's why I use it. The hotkeys essentially is, I just talked about this a second ago. You can assign a certain key to do a certain function. And yeah, that's pretty much, and then when you press it, it mutes your mic or whatever. Delete that, delete that. So hotkeys are pretty cool, and you can do switch to scene when you press a button. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Advanced, so these are some harder settings. I'll briefly go over them. Mainly this one right here, process priority. So this is how high of a priority do you want your computer to process OBS. For me, it's high because I don't want any lag or anything going on or frames dropping for my computer for my stream. So I set that on high. I mean, normal or above normal should work. No, not normal, but above normal should be fine. Again, this is advanced settings. I don't really want to go into that. File formatting, recording. So yeah, essentially this just shows you how it's being formatted. Again, I'm not really going to go into that. Stream delay is pretty important. So you can adjust the duration of seconds of how long it's going to be delayed, because your audio might be delayed and your video may not be. So you may want to sync your audio and your video up to the same delay. That way when people are watching your stream, they're not hearing you and then 10 seconds later seeing you, So it's good to make sure that's all on point. And then this is the automatic reconnect. So say you have a bad connection, and this will do a retry to connect to the stream. And you can set a max rate, a max retries. So mine's set at 20. I just pretty much leave all that stuff on default. But yeah, so that's how that works. Yeah, and that's pretty much all the settings. The most important part is probably this right here, the streaming settings. You're gonna have to play with this probably. It took me a little bit. What I will say is one thing I was doing wrong was my bitrate was too high, and my game settings, like on my graphics settings on my game, were too high. So I was getting a lot of frame dropping. So if your graphics are too high in your game and you have a high bitrate and you're asking, 1080p at 60 frames from your PC, you can probably expect to drop frames during your stream, and that causes your stream to look very, very laggy, and it just looks really crappy. That's well, one thing I want to tell you is you can do scene collections. So you can do like a live stream, like you can have multiple different sections of OBS. So this is for the OBS tutorial that I'm doing right now. This is my real live stream, which is right here. So I can turn on my camera and it should work. See, look, there I am. Yeah, you can transition between your scene collections like this. And then I went back to the OBS tutorial one that I was just showing you. So like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up, and I hope you learned something. Thanks for watching.